Another day, another day. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Young Sheldon. This is the 19th episode of the first season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. So it's interesting, last episode, you know, Sheldon, he basically didn't want to be treated like a child. His mum found some explicit images inside a comic, so, you know, he wasn't doing anything crazy, just reading comics, and you know how his mum's like, you know, it's in the Lord's name, it's not right, you know what I mean? And Sheldon's had an argument, said, you're embarrassing me, I want to be treated like an adult, and she's like, look, if that's the case, you make your own tea, you do your own clothes, you took yourself into bed, you take care of yourself, you know, I'm going to take care of Missy and Georgie, and you could do whatever it is you need to do. Now Sheldon's like, look mate, I'm going to go to college, you're going to apply for Harvard, but he needed $60 to send off his application. So he's gone around, he's asked, can he go to, you know, do a job at Radio Shack? They said no. He's asked his, you know, Mima, she said, look, I'll pay you $1 an hour. He's doing it, he's doing the dirty work. Now, is it a tornado? I think it was a tornado warning that come in. Basically, you know, she's grabbed him, she's like, look, we're going inside now. Obviously they've all gone in, hiding in the bathroom, boarded up the windows, tornadoes come, Mary's praying, you know, outside's all been destroyed. The house was actually freestanding, it was okay, it didn't get damaged. However, obviously at the end of it, you seen Sheldon giving his mum a big hug, and he was saying that he loves her and he's sorry and all that stuff. So resolved in the end, but it was interesting because we was just discussing, obviously, in the outro last episode, that, you know, we don't ever experience anything like that in the UK. Tornadoes, hurricanes, worrying if our house is going to be destroyed, and, you know, it must be scary situations to be in. And obviously when you put in, it is a life-threatening situation, to be honest. It might sound like extreme, but I guarantee one person must, well, not every time, but, like, you know, I bet somebody nearly dies every single time something like this hits. And, you know, it might not be as severe as other people, as some, but it is some crazy, scary stuff, and the act of God, you know what I mean? You never know what it's going to do, and it's good that obviously it brought them back together and united kind of as a family, and it's, you know, it was nice to see, and it's good to see going forward. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Two binomials that multiply to give the given trinomial.
Whenever I wasn't being challenged intellectually, my brain was more than happy to step up and accommodate.
The Kobe satellite is going into an uncontrolled spin. So fix it! We can't. Our computer programs weren't designed to handle a chaotic system.
You're just a kid.
A kid who knows to add an x-cubed term to a simple harmonic oscillator. If you extend the solar panel by 1 meter, you'll save your satellite.
Were you paying attention to anything I said?
Yes. When factoring a trinomial where the leading coefficient isn't 1, it must be written in descending order from highest power to lowest power.
Yeah.
Well done.
Kid, you really saved my bottom.
Tell your bottom it's welcome.
Physical and spiritual, to honor you in all we do. In Jesus' name.
What happened to bless the hands that prepared it?
I thought I'd mix it up.
Amen. I don't learn anything there, and I don't want to go anymore.
Well, where do you think you're going to go?
Who cares? Let him go.
I'm corresponding with Dr. John Sturgis at East Texas Tech. He said I could audit his course.
Kelly, I appreciate that you want to expand your horizons, but how would you even get there? The school's an hour away. I'm working, your dad's working.
Again, who cares? Let him go.
Only 1 day a week, and I was hoping Meemaw could take me.
I'm gonna start eating dinner at my house.
Do you know the word chauffeur is French for stoker? Because the first automobiles were steam-powered, and the driver had to stoke the engine.
Right there. Why am I
That's
driving
clever,
you
that.
to college when you already know everything?
Aren't you going to walk me in and get me situated?
Oh, yes, of course. Right this way, my prince.
Why are they all looking at us?
I think they're looking at you.
Oh. Hello. Don't want to stay and learn about quantum chromodynamics?
And spoil the fun of you telling me all about it and ride home? No way.
Smart. Can you help me?
With what?
I don't understand my homework. There's a list of sentences, and you're supposed to say if each one's a complete sentence or not.
First one is, most people in the country. Doesn't sound like a sentence.
But ask me who drives pickup trucks.
Who drives pickup trucks?
Most people in the country.
I was going to say, it's a context how you
does
say it.
sound like one.
You got to
I
put it
told
in
you
a
it's
sentence.
Confusing. Sometimes I tell myself I only look stupid because he's so smart.
Give me the book. Don't just sit there and make me a sandwich.
Get music on. The thing is though, right, I agree with everything that was kind of just said there. You know, it's like, have you ever seen it when you say, oh, that girl, well, what is it? I can't remember the film, but it's like that girl's not really that pretty. She just associates herself with ugly people, and then when they close it in like that, you know, like they block all the ugly people out, so to speak, then she looks ugly, if that makes sense. It's like, it's just a association. So like, they look dumb because he's so smart, and she looks really good looking because they're also ugly. Do you know what I mean? But like in a single soul situation, they're not that bad. Like, I bet she is just her age level of smart, and do you know what I mean? But because Sheldon knows everything and they're around somebody who's kind of like a child genius, then it makes them not feel, you know, part or up to scratch, you know what I'm saying? But like, again, with her homework, I think it's the context of the situation. So that first line when she said, mate, we've got to decipher if these are sentences or not, and it's like most people in the country. Okay, that's technically a statement, you know, like, if it was a single sole line, if you're just taking that line objectively on its own, most people in the country, it's not really a sentence, like, it's not. However, if you put it into a context, like she said, who drives pickup trucks, yeah, most people in the country, it fits perfect, it is a sentence, you know what I mean? Like, so that is pretty interesting, and the fact that she knows that to put it into a context, into an answer, to make it something, shows that she actually isn't, you know, as dumb as she probably thinks she is.
Forgive me, but is that pattern a double basket weave?
I suppose so.
Believe it or not, the first computer was a loom.
Well, okay.
Okay, I have a class to teach.
Oh, you must be my grandson's pen pal,
I'm sorry?
Sheldon Cooper.
The 9-year-old with the flawless penmanship. I look forward to meeting him. And will you be joining us?
Will you be discussing quantum chromodynamics?
I certainly hope so.
Then I don't think so.
Every day is a chance to learn something new.
Well, let's do it then.
Right, he seems like a teacher that absolutely loves it.
So, Sheldon, what did you think of your first theoretical physics class?
I think I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life.
Good choice. Honey, I would like to see you again. Perhaps we could have dinner sometime.
Yes, we would love that.
Sentence always contains a verb.
Which one's a verb?
A verb is a word that describes an action.
I don't see an action word.
Well, that's
Neither do
true
I.
then.
Archie, I don't think this is a sentence.
I think you're right. Put a verb in there, girl.
I don't think so. They're in love. They were looking into each other's eyes like there was something in there other than corneas and irises. If they get married, we immediately double the number of smart people in our family.
He had on a tweed jacket with the elbow patches, so he must know what he's talking about. He asked me out to dinner. When have you known me to turn down a free meal?
Ain't that the truth?
Says the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Ain't that the truth?
I think I know what I'm doing when it comes to men.
If that's true, then why do you live alone?
Because my husband died. Any other questions?
Dr. Sturgis?
Hello, Sheldon.
Come in. Meemaw's upstairs getting ready for your date. Some things you might find helpful about Meemaw. Her favorite color is purple. Her favorite ice cream, mint chip. And her favorite food is Mexican. Your favorite food?
Grilled cheese.
What about the risk of mouth burn?
It's a perfect excuse for vanilla ice cream. These are for you.
Oh, thank you. They're beautiful.
Some of them are purple.
To begin your courtship.
Moon pie,
Yes?
go home. Well, let me take care of these and then we'll head out.
I just need to borrow your phone to call a cab.
Get here.
I rode my bicycle.
I'll tell you what, how about we take my car?
Excellent.
Did you cry when you saw it?
No,
Why not?
because it ain't that big a deal.
Okay.
Get out of here.
I'm telling people you cried.
Do you like guacamole?
I don't know.
Smashed up avocados. I think you'd like it, and they do it right here at the table.
Did they run out of room in the kitchen?
Oh, it's like, you know, a show.
Sure, it's fresh.
Like
Yeah.
Benihana.
Exactly.
I don't like Benihana.
Let's skip the guacamole.
Might enjoy it. I might not. But I'm willing to take that gamble. I'm given to understand you also like.
Hey, that was a good
Brad
segue,
just
that.
told you everything, didn't he?
But I made you laugh. Full disclosure, I wasn't trying to be funny.
So, John, you ever been married?
Nope.
Ever been in love?
7 times. Number 4, she said she dodged a bullet.
That is a very brave thing to say on a first date. Try the guacamole. Okay. Like this.
Now, How do chimichangas work?
Chimichanga. Do you know what? I actually do love Mexican food, you know. Like, you got tacos, chimichangas, burritos, you know what I mean? Like, literally a decent. I actually do love it. It's great food. Don't have enough of it here in the UK, to be honest. You know, I was going to ask, what is your favourite nacho dip? Yeah, do you know what I mean? You just call them chips, but in the UK, like, chips are completely different. Fries is chips here, so we call them crisps, but nachos, you know. Do you like guacamole? Do you like cheese? Do you like salsa? What's your favourite one, mate? Honestly, I absolutely love hot salsa. Oh, it's top tier. Like, if you ever go to cinema, get some nachos, get some hot salsa. Oh, mate, some great stuff. I do love it. And that's going to be interesting. Is she going to roll over and she's going to be on a Todd? Or is she going to roll over and he's going to be there? Because it didn't look like it was going well a minute ago, but you never know. Connor is unpredictable.
How'd it go?
Oh, what the hell? How long have you been there?
67 minutes. Okay, but before I go, should I be worried he's not in your bed?
Get out. He showed up at my house on a bike.
Like a Harley?
Like a Schwinn.
Hey, a little less charming.
There's something about him. I mean, he's smart as hell and gentle and funny. Not always on purpose, but he's funny.
You should give him another try.
I agree with Mom.
Sheldon!
That is kind of cute. They can go on a date together. They can cycle around.
Aw.
So, you can also write it as r divided by the length of r. That would be a vector of unit length. Sorry, where was I?
R divided by the length of R, that would be a vector of unit length parallel to R.
Oh, yes.
I think you need to leave.
Isn't it? He looks like a granddad though, doesn't he? He actually does look like a granddad. Did he say that 3 times?
It's a satellite. The liquid helium is boiling off.
Well, why the heck would that happen?
The sun must be glinting off the solar panel and hitting the dewar. We need to calculate all the Euler angles that would cause the sun to hit the liquid helium.
Can you do it in time?
I can with my new friend, Dr. John Sturgis.
Hello. Are you paying attention?
I already know this,
You know this?
but they don't. So by all means, continue.
The thing is, it's interesting though, because I feel like a few times in the show that we've had so far, like, we've had things that kind of happened and gone on, but like no continuity in the forthcoming episodes. You know what I mean? So, like, for example, Sheldon was being bullied by Billy's sister, and like we've been 2 episodes in since then or whatever, and like no reference of it has ever been made ever since. You know, in today's episode, Mima's gone out on a date, and potentially a second date, and he's dropped a bicycle off, and he's still in the class. But like, are we going to see that continue and come into the next episode or the next one or the next one? Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a couple of times in this season where we've like had an open-ended kind of story or something's happened where like we've not continued fully on with it, if that makes sense. And obviously, like, in today's episode, it was interesting. I liked how it was like Mima getting a bit of airtime, to be honest. You know, I've always been saying since we started the show, like, you know, this is the first season and we will heavily be involved in Sheldon, and obviously the show's called Young Sheldon. However, there is more characters in there. You've got Georgia, you've got George, you've got Mary, you've got Missy Ann, you've got obviously Connie, who's all going to have their own little storyline progressing going forward, as well as him. And it's good when they all get a bit of air and me time, so to speak. So I'm interested to see if this carries on, because it looked like it was going bad, then it seemed all right, and then it looked like it's potentially going to have a second date, and then we finish the episode. So I don't want it to leave open-ended. Do you know what I mean? I would like it to see if we go on and move on. Doesn't have to be the next one, but maybe a couple. We see it carry on, either progress or end. I just don't want this to be the only stand episode that something happens, and it looks like something can happen, and then we never see it again. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So again, just mentioning there, it's interesting to see that Connie getting a bit of airtime. You know, it was nice to see. And, you know, hopefully we do see that continue. And, you know, maybe down the line we can see Missy getting some friends. You know what I mean? I've never seen her with one friend or Georgia. We've seen Tam, obviously, for Sheldon. Obviously, he was introduced at the final stages of the last season. The Big Bang Theory as a reference, obviously, a new character that we're seeing here, but we're not really seeing any of them spend time with the mates and stuff, and it'd be nice to see that. It's easy as well, you know what I mean? It don't even have to be relationship based, it just has to be people friend based, and having them round and connections and good times. And you know, it was nice to see a little bit of sibling bonding in today's episode as well. You know, Missy posed a good question that, you know, are we stupid? And I don't think they are. I just literally think that they're in a position where they've got a brother that's so smart that when everybody looks at him, they see like a genius, and then no matter what them two do, whether they're getting A's or B's in school, they're not going to look as good, and they're always going to look like they ain't up to scratch, you know what I mean? And she was smart enough in today's episode to realise that the statement that, or the homework that he was asking, even though she thought that she was confused, to get the correct answers to, and he passed and he got good marks and he posted it under the door. Georgie's put it on his wall, and it was a collective effort that they'd done together, and it was good, it was nice, it was sibling bonding, and I'd like to see more of that. So fair play to them, you know. Another good episode, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please smash like, it really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers guys.